Grüße, Partybus. Hey, Tim Smektala, greetings. We are mega hyped and nervous. Tim Smektala, hello? No, mate. Real?
Hello, everyone. Good to, you see me, I don't see you, but I would really like to, I'm also, really emotional. I would really like to thank you for the support and for interest in Dying Light. Smarty, he's a legend. Follow his channel. And guys, please keep your fingers crossed for the release. It's just 25 minutes from now. We are all super excited, lots of anticipation, so I need to run to see some other duties, but thank you for being interested in Dying Light. Keep supporting us, and I hope you will enjoy the game. We have really put a lot of work into it just for you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Tymon. Bye. Thank you so much. Greetings to Sandro. Greetings from all my communities. Yes, let's go. Sandro, bye. Hello community, my name is Smarty. I'm a German content creator, mostly for Dying Light. In the last 4 years, I made content about Dying Light, and I'm also an NDA playtester, official playtester for Techland. I'm really happy to welcome Mr. Dying Light himself, Tymon Smektala, in my first English interview ever. So I hope you have fun. Welcome, Tymon, nice that you are here.
Guten Tag, danke schön for having me. Thank you, Smarty. And also I would like to use the opportunity to thank you for your support of Dying Light series, what you do, like your opinions, your insights are very valuable to us. So it's a pleasure to be on your podcast, on your interview.
Yeah, absolute first time. And what I've done in the last couple of days, I asked my community about questions for you. So I'm thinking we are starting directly with the first questions, and we have different parts. We have the main questions for you guys. We have some personal backgrounds about Tymon, and last but not least, some short question format. I'm thinking about everything you guys are interested in the franchise of Dying Light. Okay, first questions coming from...
Let's do this.
Let's do it. First question is from Elias. What can players look forward in 26 and about Techland, about Dying Light? Can you share a brief formal outlook of 26 roadmap and upcoming events?
Of course, that's the obvious question, and I understand why the community is interested. Unfortunately, we are in a very kind of interesting period of time where I can't reveal too much. So please don't expect that there will be lots of juicy details, but there are some things that I can say, obviously. So first of all, we are planned to support Dying Light 2 and also Dying Light The Beast this year. There will be updates for both games. I think you can expect a lot of focus on Dying Light 2 as a game that we promised to support the game for 5 years. We still haven't finished the support of those 5 years. We couldn't focus as much on the game as before because of the work on Dying Light The Beast, but now when we have free resources, great developers waiting to add something to the series, we are kind of getting back with a stronger focus on Dying Light 2. So this February we start a new event for Dying Light 2, a new type of event for Dying Light 2, which is called Infected Outbreak. And the formula is actually quite, I think, simple to understand, but there's a lot going behind the hood. So the main idea is that there's a new outbreak of infection starting in Villedor. And for the next 3 weeks, for the 3 weeks of the event, different districts will be taken over by that new outbreak, which means players will see some new infected variants. Very aggressive, toxic biters and virals that will basically put your skills to the test. And we want community to stop the outbreak, basically. Guys, you have to stop the outbreak because it's taking over Villedor. So over the 3 weeks, we will be asking players to fight with those zombies as a community together. And as they do that, they are able to, hopefully they will be able to stop the outbreak from spreading, but also they will be able to get some rewards for themselves and for the community, and also uncover some, as we call them, secret files, some narrative elements that hint at a bigger conspiracy that's happening inside Villedor.
It sounds like building up a story behind that.
Yes, exactly, and it builds a story behind that. Of course, I again, sorry, I can't reveal everything. This will be some kind of a surprise for you, or something that
I try
as a
my best.
player you will have to discover. But definitely there is a kind of a little mystery behind it, some kind of a secret that you will have to uncover in this event. And as you will do that, it will kind of spread out into the future. I don't want to say too much about what will happen in the future, because again, we will be announcing that when we are ready, and when you will uncover the secrets that are there in the first event. But you can expect this type of approach to Dying Light 2 this year, definitely. Dying Light the Beast.
Yes.
We are not forgetting about the game. Like, we all love the game. You love the game, because we see that the reviews from players, the sentiment is very, very strong, and we want to kind of keep the fire burning. So definitely there will be also something more for Dying Light the Beast. But here I just need to shut my mouth. We just need a little bit more to start talking about it. And I think those are. And if you are a Dying Light fan, I think this is basically what you can expect this year. Both games, actually. Dying Light 1 also gets a form of support for this anniversary. This is 11th anniversary, so we are not kind of planning anything super big. But Dying Light 1 also gets a kind of reminder of the classic events from the history of this series, with some new rewards. So definitely 2026 is us supporting the games that we have out there and thinking about the future even more.
Can you tell the community when they can expect a first roadmap, a first impression about what you're thinking, which part of the year, what will happen?
I'm not sure we will actually create like a roadmap per se, but we will be announcing things as we move along. Definitely, and it's going to happen soon. Like, you will be able to learn what's happening in both games. Again, when we are ready. Like, over the years, I think we have made, out of our enthusiasm, out of our excitement, we have announced a couple of things, maybe a little too early, so we don't want to repeat that. So I understand that players want to get their hands on juicy info as quickly as possible. But we just need to kind of make sure that whatever we promise publicly, whatever we say publicly, we are delivering, and it happens.
I always see that you always hold your promises. Okay, next question. A little bit about Dying Light the Beast is coming from Anime Hunter. Can fans expect a surprise anything about the Beast first anniversary, which is not in February, like typical in the past?
Like, if you want a surprise, it needs to be a surprise, right? So maybe let's stop at the information that absolutely we are thinking about Dying Light the Beast, and you can expect some more the updates love for Dying Light the Beast this year.
Okay, we are changing a little bit. You knowing I'm a big fan of cracks and both the parts from the modding community, and we're always taking a look what's coming on console with your support of a mod.io. And here's coming a little bit double question, Matcher Queen and their party bus, German. What's your general stance on mods, including console support for the future? And could a PvP or volatile modus we are knowing from Dying Light 1, can it be perhaps for Dying Light 2 or the future? I know that you're always standing, we are doing something for the modders, and always we are on the work. Any new parts perhaps for 26?
Okay, so I think that this question can be split into two different questions. The first one is about UGC, and actually we have a very strong plans for UGC this year. One of the best information that kind of best things that have happened to the UGC part of Dying Light is that we have kind of welcomed back the main driver for all UGC initiatives in Dying Light series. One of our developers. Basically, this is his passion. This is what drives all of us working on UGC. He's spending 20% of his time on UGC in Dying Light, but also interacting, playing with UGC in other games. Definitely, he has managed to kind of add new energy to this department. Like, it's always like whatever you might think. Like, there are always people behind whatever you see coming from game studios, etc. And if you have good people with drive, people with vision, then it's much easier to achieve things. So I'm very happy that we now have a kind of regrouped, and we have created a team with a big drive that will do
Good
things
news.
in the UGC space for Dying Light. So we are already in contact with the most active modders, kind of gathering their immediate needs and also some requests
Yes,
moving
there are a couple of
forward.
it.
We have a number of very cool new maps in the pipeline that we are helping to create to kind of increase the quality of those maps. I think that's one of the things that we will be looking for this year is to deliver the maps at a higher quality level than before. And for that, we are working more closely with map creators, solving the issues they find in the tools, in kind of general approach, also helping them, giving them some feedback, some observations from our side. Obviously, we are developers with numbers of years of experience, so there are things that we have tried already, so that they don't work, or maybe there are some solutions to some challenges. So we are providing this type of help and feedback to map creators. And we also plan to introduce a number of new features for DevTools and general support for UGC. Again, a little bit too early to talk about that. I don't want to talk about plans as much as something that's kind of stamped by all parties, and we know it will happen and when it will happen, to not make promises that might not come into fruition because of, I don't know, logistics, times, resources. But we are definitely looking strongly at UGC, and I think we might have some surprises this year when it comes to this. When it comes to PvP modes, online modes, etc., absolutely nothing to announce at this stage. I would like to ask, I understand the community interest and I highly appreciate it, and I'm very thankful that you guys are interested in everything that's happening in Dying Light and you are passionate about the game. That's super important for us, and I think, we were always trying to be very transparent, very honest with you, and we value the relation a lot. But like, you also need to understand like the realities of the video game market currently. You have to make the smartest choices possible to make sure that the game develops, that the game drives, kind of levels up, that the series reaches more players, etc., that the number of players increases. So you have to make tough calls, and you have to be a little bit careful about what you announce, what you reveal.
What you're talking about.
So I think that's kind of the mentality that we will have to adapt for the time coming, that we will be listening very closely to what community is saying. Like, this is something I keep repeating every time, basically no voice, we see every opinion, we hear every voice, at least try to. Looking from the higher perspective, I think we see a little bit better what are the trends, what are the, which requests, which expectations are the strongest. Also being able to back this up with data, what players are doing in our game. And based on that, we will be making decisions. And when those decisions will be verified and when we'll be ready and sure that we will deliver what we are promising, then I think it will be easier to reveal things. So we want to reveal things closer to the release, closer to the launch, than just keep talking about them months in advance.
I can just say, first of all, about cracks and the modders, their passion is unbelievable. And what you're saying about that the changes in the dev tools are coming, are planning, is a high appreciate move, and they're waiting for it, and still unbelievable passion in this job they are doing. I watched cracks and some of his design parts, and it was so unbelievably good. To the PvP mode, I always try to see both parts, as you know, also my background a little bit. So also from the financial, and you make decisions in small groups. I'm thinking everybody needs or can understand that, so that some decisions are hard to make, and perhaps the best would be everything totally at once, but that can't work. But I can tell you that from the modding community, from the stuff, from my personal opinion, really is that there's a high potential, because the modding community doing so much stuff, and if they will find a way to open it more, I think it would bring a lot of more content. And this PvP and zombie stuff is really a huge part of questioning always, since I'm doing Dying Light stuff. Oh, okay. But you spoke about that, so that was for personal, was content for Dying Light 2, but you just said you're planning more than personal I expected, so that's still, that's your cap. You gave it 4 years ago. I thought I'd take a new one, but I took this old one still. You gave it to Gamescom, and I still love it to play there.
It's a good quality cap, since it's held up so well for years.
Yes, it's a little bit, have a little more cleaning necessary, but still I love it, and my hat, it's perfect. new weapons, blueprint missions. You just announced a little bit, so you're doing really a lot for Dying Light 2 this year. That's the plan, without details, but full power. Yes.
Yes.
Can we a little bit about, when we are talking about decisions and stuff, we understand, and most of my community support Techland with a lot of bundles and stuff, and thinking that's a good way to support you guys, because you hold always your promise, you support the game so long. Still new stuff in Dying Light. No joke, no, it's really honest chat. It's unbelievably great, and I'm doing 4 years with these guys, and they hold their promise. But the bundles increasing in the price, and the last bundles 16 euros and content in it a little bit. Is it not perhaps better to start this way over a small DLC with as an earning some bundles? It had not the best taste, and I got a lot of comments about it. What is the future in bundles, and what you're thinking about? Some criticism you get about that.
Again, this is the reality of the current market. Like, if you want to sustain the team working on the game, you have to increase the revenue sources. So of course we need to be able to deliver more stuff to the game, that if players are interested, they can purchase it. I think when you look at the pricing strategy, it's not that different from what other games are doing. So this is basically, again, the reality on the market. The one thing that I can say is, obviously this is optional content. Like Dying Light 2 has been growing a lot over the years. It's basically, by default, it's a big game. Then it had a lot of stuff added over the years, including the Bloody Ties DLC, including the new quests with Tolga and Fatih, the firearm quests. There's plenty, the tower raid, there's plenty to do in the game. So the price of the game is also lowering because of the discounts. So I don't think when you purchase the game, you can enjoy a great experience for Dying Light 2 with a very reasonable price. Now, if you want to level up that experience, if you want more, then we have to kind of sustain the production of those items. So we have to kind of balance what we give for free, what's being sold. When it comes to pricing, of course, we are looking at the pricing constantly. There are different offers in the store. We are thinking about some new ones that will kind of make some things more affordable for players. So like whatever it is, however harsh that sounds, we just need to.
True. It's honest.
Get revenue to sustain the development of the game, and this is one way of doing it. But on the other hand, again, this is optional content. You don't need that to enjoy the game.
Absolutely, I agree, and I understand it totally. First of all, I have to say it was, in comparison to other games, always great to see this absolute fair price in your bundles. It was this €5 bundles. It was perfect and absolute fair content for that. So first of all, we all appreciate this way, but we are now seeing the increasing. We know everything's getting higher, everything's can get more expensive. But I'm always saying, as with my private experience, it's easier to sell 1,000 parts for €1 than one part for €1,000. So as a small tip, sell it as DLC as an earnings. And I'm thinking the €10 is which you separate a lot from all the other gaming publishers, and we have to live with that the way it's worked. I know that it's just an idea, and we understand that. Thank you that you react to this critic too.
Again, we understand how sensitive this point is for players. So believe me, we are basically every day we are having conversations about the pricing strategy. Should something be cheaper? Should something be at this level? What can we do? Even if you ask for a higher price for something, then what can we do to increase the value of this or that element? And I think the latest Evolving Bundle is actually one of the ideas where, outside of a number of items, you are also getting this mini side quest that you have to complete. So basically we are very aware that this is sensitive, and hopefully, even if we hear some voices which are not entirely positive,
you take it off.
We kind of still manage to balance it properly. But again, like we keep hearing and we keep analyzing.
as in the past. I always can say the same. We're working so long now together and so much stuff. It's always okay. I always could say critics, some of the community always say, yeah, can you be critic against and can ask questions? For sure. It's smiling. Yeah, it's true. It's even no joke from my side. And then we're coming to this one questions I always get comments about. I know a lot of people working for Techland. I know a lot of private talk, and all of them talking about the same. It's about this Techland Tencent deal, 2 years ago, and a couple of people are always saying, "Is it everything now from Tencent?" And as I spoke with so many people, there's nobody. If you are doing your stuff, still you're doing your game development. But I have to ask, is it like that? I heard personally a lot, but for the community, could you say anything about this deal and that Techland is still doing their stuff?
Absolutely. So Tencent is a big company that approaches all of the studios in a very similar manner, which is they give those studios the same independence that they had before, and they provide a number of solutions, methodologies, technologies, services that make our life easier. So to be honest, I feel I'm doing exactly the same job that I would be doing if we were still being Techland. And at the same time, I feel that my work is much easier because I have access to a lot of other studios where we can exchange experiences, where we can kind of share insights, where we can see how other people are solving the challenges that they face. We get access to a lot of so-called shared services, mock-up sessions, data analysis, like creation of assets. All of this is much easier. We have access to the biggest brains, the most experienced people in the industry because of that family. Really it's super beneficial for us, and there are also no kind of threats or nothing that influences our independence in that regard.
Okay. I told my community a lot about that, but there are still some people, so it was thank you that you react to this too, but I explained exactly the same what I heard from the staff and the last year. It was never a problem, never a talk about that, but there are still some people who are always looking for anything, and we know this. So, okay,
yep.
Thank you for the first part. We know the time is going up, so I'm pushing a little bit, and now community see a short flashback. Have fun.
My name is Tymon Smektala. I'm a producer for Dying Light.
Oto ja, 90 kilo, dawno mnie nie było, co? Nominowany szybciej niż wujek samo zło. Oto ja, bluza Techland, uszy w słuchawkach. Przez cały dzień wypasionych bitów, suta dawka bitów. Moja ekipa ma ich tu bez liku. Nie ma dla nas limitu.
Kyle. What the hell took you so long to bring me back?
But man, you didn't call, you didn't answer the calls, man. Like, we've been calling you constantly. I called you, my boss called you, the whole team called you, the community was shouting at you, hey, where is Kyle?
I'm back now. You see a short backup. That was Tymon 2015. What an unbelievable journey. I have just one question. Was it first rap or was it first games? How it come to this development, and how was this unbelievable, incredible journey for yourself to watch this?
So first, a very, very funny movie. Like, I don't know, the guy from 2015, what was the first date, like with the light up in his face. He he looked quite funny. Yeah, but I was much younger back then. Yeah, so it was an amazing journey. It really it is a life-changing experience also because basically that's my life, right? So even by definition, this is a life-changing experience. Answering your question, I think rap was like I don't think I ever imagined myself being, like a rapper that plays big concerts and releases lots of
Absolute.
albums, and then I don't know, like drowns in his swimming pool somewhere in Ibiza, something like that. So it
You
was
do
never
that?
me.
Oh,
But I was interested. I was interested into writing
nice.
lyrics,
Okay.
lyrics which are poetic, but also lyrics which are quite funny. And I had a lot of luck of being able to meet with people who were able to help me with music to support this part of my activity. But I don't think I ever wanted rap to be, my kind of my main thing. It also wasn't the first because I started playing games when I was, I don't know, probably 7 years old. Real games, not mobile, but of course back then there were no
Yeah, we
mobile
know that.
games, but just like real games on computers, etc. So this was always my passion from the start. Yes, so I'm very happy that I have ended up at Techland. This is a great company, great studio that I've met a lot, hundreds basically of amazing people here. A lot of them are my friends, basically also in personal life. By working at video game industry, I have also managed to meet and get to know a lot of famous people, not so famous people from the industry. Generally, everyone is super passionate. That's something I keep always telling everyone. Like, if you're looking for a job, this is the best job on earth. Maybe it's a little bit tougher recently with all of the layoffs in all of the studios,
I
but
discovered.
still, I kind of stand by that point. The industry just needs to find a way for itself in this new environment, but being able to create these virtual worlds and being able to shape them and invite players into those worlds, this is an amazing feeling and an amazing job.
When did you start at Techland? Is I think Techland started in the 90s?
I started in 2000, you kind of surprised me by that, but it was 2013. Yes, 2013. Yes. Yes. So
Um,
2013. So basically, this year is my 13th year. Yes.
wow. I always say thank you for this and the passion. I'm doing this also as a business part since 2002. I was the first time on a
Yes.
games convention as business partner. It's unbelievable passion in this area,
So
and
just to add,
it's
before
increased so much. We get now the reduction. It's always terrible to watch this for each, but I'm still hoping we can find a good way for a lot of passion people in the future.
Good.
Okay.
Let me just add two things to that. So first of all,
Okay.
before joining Techland, I was also a game journalist for more than 10 years. I think I started in 2001.
Wow.
I have been in the industry for much longer. And when it comes to the situation in the current situation in
Yes.
the when it comes to the jobs in game dev industry, Techland is hiring. So if anyone is watching this and is a game developer, please have a look at our careers page. So maybe we'll find something for you there.
We'll put a link in it for sure. I have some questions for you personally, just 2-3 short ones. Ferdy is asking, how often do you personally play Dying Light? Is it mainly for work, or is it also, do you play it in your free time?
So usually what I do, I of course play a lot for work in the office,
sure.
basically thousands of hours. But when we release the game, I then play it again personally on my console, and then I try to get back to it from time to time, definitely after each update. When it comes to Dying Light 2, which has a bigger number of, let's say, concurrent mechanics and a bigger number of events that invite me to play the game, I play Dying Light 2 basically a couple of times each month at least. I have completed all of the games, each one at least a couple of times. When I look at my, let's say, the Steam stats,
Yeah.
which is also a little cheated because usually when you start working on a game, we don't put it on Steam, even for us
Yeah.
internally. So
I know.
you get lots of hours that no one counts. Again, I have thousands of hours for mostly Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2, because for the Beast I wasn't like a very hands-on developer. But for Dying Light 1 I have about 3,000 hours. For Dying Light 2, 5,000+ hours.
Wow.
When I checked yesterday, actually, I looked at it. My save, like my main save, which I have a number of, but my main save for Dying Light 2 on my personal console is more than 200 hours. So
How?
yeah, I have played those games a lot.
At
Yes.
what time did you manage that? I'm really surprised. Respect. Okay.
No, but
No more
like when you
questions,
work on a
Ferdy.
game, is when you work on a game actively as a developer, like each day you have the game activated for, I don't know, at least 4 hours, because you do stuff, then you check the stuff in the game. Obviously, not always everything is working, so you go back to be doing stuff, then you check that again in the game. This basically
Gotcha.
gives you hours and hours, and after every milestone, you play the game again from start to finish. Like I remember even times when we were working on Dying Light 2, and we have, as we called it, we have mapped out the story on the map back then, which was very simple map and not much was happening
Okay.
there. And the story basically was, I go to a place, there was an NPC, if you were lucky, you were clicking on the NPC and he was just showing a text. This is what I say. And you are going to the next place where actually not a lot of zombie population, not a lot of actual gameplay, just basically going from node to node, kind of to get the initial flow of the game, one of the first milestones. So we even play that, right? To kind of start getting the feel of the game, start seeing where it works, where it doesn't. So yeah, you spend a lot of time in those games.
I never thought that you reached this many of hours as boss. Respect again. Big respect. So, Joe Caffeine asked this question about your time. So, sorry, Joe,
Okay.
your question was
I think it's
answered.
answered, yes.
Last
I would
one,
say
a
it's
lot of people
thousands of
asked,
hours,
which Dying Light character next to Kyle Crane and Aiden, which I'm thinking you would always answer, which is the next, do you relate to the most? Community would know which you like the most. From all parts, what is the one you always say, oh yeah, like now at the moment you start to smile perhaps, or this you love the most?
That's a tough question. I don't think I have one, but like since you asked this, I have to make the answer on the spot. So what I would say is that as I get older, I'm definitely looking at Spike, because Spike, he's like the foundation, the fortress. No matter what happens, he's there. He offers like a very common sense outlook on things, a very kind of like stable perspective.
I think
he
most
just
had expected
delivers.
something like Gazi's coming or Tolga or Farty, but Spike is
but you said relate, right? So when it comes to who do I relate to, Spike is someone you can always get back to, and he will give you, a number of crafting parts and a good advice.
True
so
friend.
that's why I said Spike.
Yeah.
Like he's stable in all of the chaos that's happening outside. He's basically there, and he's always a positive, always a very strong kind of driving force. But then I like most. It's a tough choice, because I would have to choose between actually mostly Tolga and Fatin, definitely, because they are crazy, and this is like the part of my personality which I like humor, I like crazy stuff. So
never hate an NPC like Tolga and Fatin in one. I hated it. I played it live, and it was so, that drives me crazy. Perfect. Great job, but it was so
but so that's that. And then I don't know, maybe to counterbalance that, I would say Esgi. She's also like the following character, also a I think it's one of the coolest female characters that we have created. So of course Jade is the star when it comes to female characters, but I think Esgi is also a very, very interesting character, quite deep, and someone that I like a lot.
Yeah, that's one thing. I always say it, from the atmosphere, even the old one characters in this one getting really, really deep, and that's one for me which played really a lot of games in the past 20 years. When I remember story elements like that ones, I always say, okay, yeah, that's one of the really okay. It sounds a little bit like I'm too friendly, no, but it's true. It's just my honest personal view, and that's the reason I support you guys for 4 years now on a free base.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
Okay. This is now the last part. We have a couple of quick questions from my community. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. It takes a little bit longer than we expected. So really quick questions. Yes, no, perhaps. Next one. It's on you, like you
Okay.
prefer. First question. Will we see Lauren or other familiar characters again in The Beast? It's coming from Pat Corrick. Looks like a perhaps. A friendly
I don't know.
perhaps.
There's this Polish game, like a Polish kids game, which is called Tomato, where someone asks you things and you have to say tomato. So this is what you say in Poland when you don't want to answer something. You just say tomato. So
Okay, I got it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Next question coming from Bag, and that's just a question if it's possible. Stash expansion for Dying Light 2 and The Beast.
Well, again, I think the same, like never say never, right, guys?
Okay.
As I said at the beginning, I can't reveal too much at this stage, so I think never say never.
Okay, next one. From Klaus. That's one thing that's disturbing me too a little bit. Is it possible that the key bindings are consistent between Dying Light 2 and Dying Light The Beast?
We will look at that. This is not so simple to be made, but I think also personally that the layout for the Beast is stronger than the one in Dying Light 2, like more convenient to it's more convenient to play. We will consider that. I don't want
That's
to make
option.
any promises, but definitely that's something that I would like to investigate. Dying Light the Beast got a lot of changes, improvements in the engine compared to previous games. So
I see.
and because some of them are very deeply rooted in how the game is coded, you cannot really kind of move things so easily between games. But I see the value of the control scheme from Dying Light the Beast, and I think this is something that could be maybe achievable. We are actually discussing this, how much of that we can do.
Party was again, will it be possible to recycle a couple of weapons in Dying Light The Beast that cannot be sold and not recycled because they fulfill their stash?
Part of what we will be doing this year for Dying Light 2 is also kind of doing a kind of cleanup of some of the unresolved requests that were coming from the community. So definitely this is on the list. We know that this is an issue, the same as stash size. We will be looking at things like that. Again, guys, no promises. I think you have to understand. I think you understand why I just don't want to announce things before we super kind of 100%, 200% ready that they will be delivered. But this is something that we are looking at, yes.
A lot of questions coming about that from Negan. Is a balancing update planned for the Beast? Many players feel the difficulty and grind become too intense too early. And from Salesforce coming a direct an idea, perhaps also with higher rewards, repeatable quests or boss fights in Dying Light Beast as an alternative way to level up.
This is an interesting request. To be honest, we are not discussing this. This is not something that we see as an issue. We hear some voices, of course, from the community, but they don't seem to be super numerous, also looking at the data of what's happening in the game. But this is another of those voices, definitely something that we need to take into consideration. No plans at this stage, but we will be monitoring this as definitely we check the balance, the stats behind the game every few weeks to see how the game kind of works for players. What are the player behaviors? Do they get stuck somewhere? Do they kind of keep repeating the same action over and over? We check why, because maybe they don't have resources, or maybe the grind is like the difficulty is too high. So we will be looking at that for sure. But no plans to change this at this point, no.
To explain it on my personal view in this moment, I got stuck in November, December, relived some stuff, and you started Dying Light the Beast with the Legion and a double XP boost. So a lot of the old players reached this really, really fast. And in my personal opinion, it was too fast. And the first balancing you done was totally correct because they reached Legion level 300 really too fast. So I'm thinking that's a lot of reasons of the experienced players. You don't get any reacts because they are level 300.
Okay.
But from all new players, and now I started and it feels like really grindy. Too much for level 300. It looks really like a long term. That's one personal opinion. I agree with these questions, and it gets really intensive. And also then with this, the most points you get from the XP from the main quest and side quests, and not from doing anything else. So it's a grind from the story. So that's, I'm thinking perhaps you take a look at that. And
of course, I will make this. I will kind of make this conversation visible to our game director Nathan, who
he's great. Thanks.
We will discuss this definitely.
This question, everybody, the buggy. So it's coming to the buggy. Will there be a buggy modification similar to Dying Light 1? The following coming from Ahmed. He's asking for a fire. He's asking for UV light, more personal design, and perhaps a garage, and some other stuff is coming. Everybody is asking for a weaponized four-wheeler in Dying Light the Beast.
Never say never.
Okay. This one we had a little bit earlier, but it's again the online experiences. We noticed a little job offers. You were saying you're looking for a new online lead designer. So the online part is really important. We're just asking his Joe Coffey asking, online focused is a part of your considering for the Dying Light universe? Tomato.
So, like, of course, the online part of a lot of games is getting more and more important for those games, and we are thinking about increasing the online in the online space. But like some of the reports I have seen about this particular job recruitment offer, like some of the assumptions, they were going much too far. Really.
Okay.
Guys, nothing to announce, but as a studio, we need to make sure that we have experienced people with knowledge, people with real skills in all areas of game development. We are creating a game which is very broad. It's not like a very niche, very targeted game that, I don't know, just hits at the fans of real-time strategy games with pixel graphics, right? If you do something as specific, then you can just have a number of people that are experts on that. We are creating a game which is reaching millions of players. To do that, you have to be able to deliver different kind of things to all of those people. So we are looking how we can increase our experience in all of the fields. But first of all, of course, nothing to announce, but also don't kind of read too much into job offers, because it's very easy to create theories that are not really true.
We check everything. We check just everything. And me too. And you know, it's my dream. And Dying Light Universe Online, I told you, it would be so huge. And I see so many things. We are just talking about that Dying Light would be a good Hollywood film. We're just talking about which character could be Kyle Grant on our private Discord. Yeah, I have to send you some photos about that. The community is so passionate, you wouldn't believe. And I can tell
who's
you,
winning in terms of actor? Who's winning?
Carl Urban is mostly favorite at the moment. From face, optic, style, age, Carl Urban seems the most favorite one. And I agree. I agree.
Nice call.
Absolutely.
Nice call. But I think if Hollywood would be doing it, I don't know, this would be like Chris Hemsworth or someone.
That's too
Hollywood
clean.
Is always looking.
That's too
but you know Hollywood,
yes,
right?
you would. Yeah, perhaps. Yes, that could happen. But
but
when we see it in the past, we have
community.
compliments to a lot of, without telling any names, but a lot of franchises from the game universe getting a much better quality than we are used in the past. So thanks God we got really terrible adaptations from gamings, and this one in the last years, I like it. So so greetings Hollywood. I'm thinking it would be a great film. Let us come to the last first question. We're coming to the closing. Is any we're bringing together Maximilian asking for a physical edition of the Beast, and Fanta Hunter HD is asking, is there any chance in the future for a remake of Dying Light 1 remastered new gen version?
So when it comes to the physical edition, right now there are no plans for this to happen. But again, never say never. Dying Light 1 with last year's retouched update is actually still, I think it holds up very well. The thing about making a remake is not to make it nicer visually, but also to make sure that it plays in the same way. And Dying Light is a game which is very, very delicate when it comes to how the gameplay kind of works.
That's true.
You have experienced that by yourself when you started playing Dying Light 2, right? It kind of looked like the same game, but when you were playing it, it was completely different. So like the current thinking is that Dying Light 1 is such a good game as it is right now in terms of gameplay, and also with some of the recent additions, it actually holds up quite well as a game that you can. Of course, you cannot compare it to the newest AAA games with all of the fixes, HDRs, etc. But still, I think it's a very, very nice game to play. Also visually, like you don't really see it as a very obsolete game. So there are no plans to kind of do more in that regard. regard right now. We are looking for new things. We are looking at not trying to repeat ourselves, but just to try to bring something new to the franchise.
A lot of questions. Tymon, thank you very
But I
much in the
survived.
name of
That's
the
good.
community. We're coming to the closing, and that's the last one. Are you allowed, it's coming as a community topic, allowed to, you're saying last year in an interview about Techland, all 3-4 years you're planning now, you get a new development, you have new plans, you're thinking you're now ready to say, all 3-4 years you bring a new game. So is anything upcoming on Techland in total? You can talk about anything a bit?
What I can say is that you have been waiting for Dying Light 2 for 7 years after Dying Light 1. So we don't want to repeat that.
Okay.
We want you to have something juicy to play more often than that. And I think that's the best answer I can give to that question.
Okay, I will try this one still. So it's a little bit because only is this part of the Dying Light universe, or is it a general thing also over the Dying Light universe? So just it's you planning for everything. I'm trying a bit.
Tomato. No, but guys,
Okay, no, for sure.
To keep evolving and to keep growing, you have to have new releases. So you can expect something from Techland definitely sooner than in 7 years' time.
Okay, that's enough. I still have some goosebumps. I'm so thankful. We have finished this one, community. I'm so thankful that you answered so many questions. It's unbelievable your time. Final words you'd like to share?
As always, I want to thank the community because I am sure, and I can give my arm for it, Dying Light would not be where it is if not for the players and if not for the community. The players have been supporting us since day one. The players have been telling other players about this cool zombie game that they have to play. And the feedback, the opinions, the requests from the community help us a lot in shaping the future of the series and the state of the series. So once again, danke schön for all of that. Thank you so much. You are amazing. And please stay with us as much as you are interested in Dying Light, and we will be providing you new things to talk about and new things to play.
Thank you, Tymon. Thank you, community. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.